Okay, that's a good idea to sit on Dad's shoulders at this stage. That will save your legs. So opposite you, the very nice pinkish building is called a Hall House, H-A-L-L, for those of you who may not have heard me correctly the first time. And in your house, Billy, you've probably got a very big hall that you go in through the front door. And this was a building many years ago that was in three parts. You would have one side of it for the domestic side, one side really for the preparation of and storage of things, and in the middle you'd have this central hall where people could gather, and the fire would be in there. And what's on top of the buildings these days? There's a chimney. Well, there wouldn't have been a chimney on top of that. It would have been a single-floored building, and the smoke would have been vented through a hole in the roof, and that was how hall houses were. They were timber-framed. There's another very good example of one as we go through our route, but this is probably a good example of what they would have looked like.
I'm Billy asking a question.
Just pause while that car's gone by. Stephen, you'd like to ask a question?
What happened when it rained?
The question is, what happened when it rained? Well, there was a roof to it, but as far as the ventilation part was concerned, it was watertight on the roof, so they didn't all get wet, but it was a different structure to how we see it in this day and age. And whilst we're also here, this is called Bridewell Lane, and the reason for it being called Bridewell Lane is to your right, at the foot of the street, you can see a green hedge on the other side of the road. That would have been where the Bridewell was, we think, and people there would have been locked up when they did things wrong, Billy. And there weren't really serious things that they did wrong, but it does show that if you do things wrong, you could end up being locked up. So we don't want that to happen, do we? So, okay, we're going to move now through a very scenic part of the town. You'll see examples on the way of some of the stone from the abbey when the abbey ceased, and we'll do a couple of stops along the way as we go through. But if you follow me, being very careful, we're going to cross on this dropped curb here. Stephen, if you're okay there.